I don't recall if I've heard you quite describe yourself. People ascribe to you this role of optimist, right? But I've also heard it, that optimism and pessimism are biases, right? One can be biased in one way or the other. And that doesn't really seem to me to be a good description of you, because you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at data, and you're looking at just the trends and the way they seem to work and just saying, well, the only reasonable conclusion here is that things are getting better or things have gotten better. And that
things have gotten
if
better,
we put
but
effort, right.
No, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly right. I mean, there's optimism just in the sense that there exists the possibility to solve problems.
Right.
Evidence being the fact that we have solved them in the past. You call, I mean, I suppose you could call that optimism. There's a term that I don't know if Matt Ridley introduced it, but he used it as the title of his book, The Rational Optimist, which is not that, as you say, to assume that things will always get better is a bias, and there's no reason to adopt it. However, just looking at historical data makes one a little more sanguine about the human condition, simply because it's invisible to people who get their information about the world from the news. The news is a highly non-random biased sample, whereas the data which count up, how many people are in poverty? How many people have died of infectious disease? How many people have been killed in wars? You plot that over time, and that's what allows the realization to sink in that we have made progress. But none of the curves are linear for good things or decline for bad things. They're always wiggles and ups and downs, and sometimes sickening lurches. Right. So, and there's nothing, and progress can be undone. Again, I don't think it's just like, the headlines go up, the headlines go down. Everything changes wait long enough, and we'll swing back. That everything is cyclical. That's not true either. History is not cyclical, but it has a huge, unpredictable, random component. I think superimposed, at least in many cases, on overall improvement. War being an example. Though there has been. First of all, the decline of war really only meaningfully started after World War II. Before that, I would not be prepared to argue that there was an overall trend in reducing war. And World War II is the biggest war in history, of course. Since World War II, the trend has been overall down, but with kind of a roller coaster, because there were bumps for the Vietnam War, the Iran-Iraq War, the Syrian Civil War. There will probably be a bump. We don't know how big for the war in Ukraine. And again, there's no guarantee that it won't shoot all the way back up. I suspect it won't, but it could happen. And it's all the more reason that we figure out why there was an overall downward trend, so that we implement just those measures that caused it and not get complacent. I think there is a danger often that people living in improved circumstances can forget how bad it was, and forget about all of the institutions that actually bestowed on us this gift of peace and prosperity. And if we do forget them, then we can go back, because there's nothing inevitable about it.